Hey friends, Mrs. Villa's back again, and our next story that I have to share with you is amazing. There's a whole series of these Who Would Win books, and my son Danny absolutely loved them a few years back. And so the title of this one is Who Would Win? Killer Whale versus a Great White Shark. And the author is Jerry Pallota, and the illustrator is Rob Bolster. So just by looking at the cover of this text and hearing the title, what do you think that the genre would be? And you can probably see it in the background. I should have covered it up for you guys. But yes, the genre is nonfiction. So it's about facts. It's an informational text. So you'll be learning facts in this book about killer whales and great white sharks. And so since it is an informational text, the author's purpose is to inform. You're going to be learning real facts about these sea animals here. So I hope you enjoy, and if you really enjoy this book, there's a whole series. Just check out the Who Would Win series. There's a ton of different books. Okay, here we go. What would happen if a killer whale met up with a great white shark? What if they had a fight? Who do you think would win? Okay. Scientific name of killer whale. Orcinius orca. Meet the killer whale, also known as an orca. It is a sea mammal. It breathes air through the blowhole on the top of its head. Just like you, killer whales have lungs. They hold their breath underwater. Blowhole. Killer whale nicknames: blackfish, orca, seawolf, and killer of whales. Scientific name of the great white shark: Carcharodon carcharius. Meet the great white shark. It's a huge fish that can't survive out of water. Sharks and other fish don't breathe air. Fish get oxygen from water that flows through their gills. Like most sharks, the great white has 5 gill slits. Oh, I'm backwards. Yeah, you can see. Great white shark nicknames: man-eater, Tommy, white pointer, and white death. So I really like this informational text because they're talking about both of the animals side to side. So in my head, I'm comparing to see, well, what's the same about them? What's different? The killer whale has a huge jaw full of about 50 teeth. The teeth can almost be 4 inches long. And that's the actual size. And then that's where the gum line is. And our gums, that's that pink part where our teeth come out of, that's their gum line. So this part of the tooth would be covered by their gums. Did you know if the killer whale loses an adult tooth, it doesn't grow back? A killer whale tooth looks like this. Wow, that's huge, guys. A great white shark has a gigantic mouth full of several rows of razor-sharp teeth. It's scary just to look at them. Did you know if a shark loses a tooth, another tooth takes its place? During a shark's life, it can lose more than 3,000 teeth. A great white shark tooth looks like this, and that's the actual size. Wow, so that's pretty cool. We know now that if a killer whale loses an adult teeth, it doesn't grow back, but that a great white shark's teeth, they do grow back when they lose them. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, and so we really want to make sure we're paying attention to the illustrations, because in this informational text, the text features such as labels or little text boxes give us extra information about what the illustrations are trying to tell us. So this is male and female, and it shows a line that this is 3 feet and this is 6 feet, okay? The killer whale's dorsal fin looks like these. On a male killer whale, the dorsal fin can be up to 6 feet tall. Killer whales can be found in all oceans. Not some oceans, all oceans. Female, male. Male and female great white sharks have dorsal fins that look the same. Great white sharks are also found in all oceans. Yeah, and that's a nice difference that they pointed out. So the female dorsal fin is 3 feet less than the male, and they're saying that for the great white shark, the male and the female just look the same. Killer whales are meat eaters. Their favorite foods are seals and sea lions, but they also eat salmon and other fish. A killer whale was once seen grabbing a moose and a deer off a shoreline. The killer whale is king of the food chain. It has no natural enemies. That means it's at the top of the food chain, guys, that all the other animals are below it. So really, it doesn't get messed with. The ocean is more like a food web than a food chain. In the ocean, everything eats almost everything else. And I love this illustration that they show how the web shows the fish eating other fish, that would be the order. Great white sharks eat fish, but have also been known to eat seals, sea lions, and even sea turtles. Now and then they eat a few people. Yikes. A great white shark is also high on the food chain. It is the largest predatory fish. Tiny plankton is eaten by small fish. Small fish get eaten by bigger fish. Bigger fish get eaten by larger fish, and so on. And that's what they're trying to show us with the web that they drew around, that this animal would eat this animal would eat this animal, and it mostly goes by size for this part here, and then it separates from right here with the killer whale to over there. Right, because we know that these fish are not going to eat that, so we want to look at it like if they were separate like this, and then like that. It can be a little tricky. Okay. A male killer whale is bigger than a female killer whale. A female is about 4 feet shorter. So I love this comparison. They're showing us the male killer whale is about 23 feet in length, which is about the length of a school bus. And then the female killer whale stops right here at about 19. So that's where we get the 4 feet longer for the male. 23 minus 19 equals 4. Killer whales have bones. This is a killer whale skeleton. This is so cool, guys. Look. The female great white shark is bigger than the male. So that's another difference with the killer whales and the great white shark. Females are wider and about 3 feet longer. So here's the female, and then here's the male. And we can see that the male stops where the edge of my finger is, and that would be the extra 3 feet for the female. Great white sharks do not have bones, which is a big difference because it said that the killer whales do have bones and a great white shark does not. Shark skeletons are made of cartilage. Feel your own ear. It is made of cartilage. So guys, if you do feel your own ear, look at the top, or not look, feel the top of your ear. This part right here, not the little flabby part here like where my earring is, up top right here. Be gentle, but give it a tiny squeeze and maybe even a little bend. That's called cartilage. Can you say cartilage? Cartilage, right. And so that's what the shark skeletons are actually made of. Look, no bones. And then they show the jaw of the great white. Although they are huge, killer whales can jump completely out of water. Did you know killer whales might jump for fun, to knock some whale lice off their skin, or to catch a fish or a sea lion? Right, guys, so they don't have hands. If something's on their skin that they don't like, they can't just take their hands and wipe it off like we do. So they'll jump in the air and then slap back down to get rid of whatever it is on their skin. In a fight, who do you think would win? A killer whale or a great white shark? Did you know great white sharks have been seen leaping in the air to catch a sea lion? To catch a seal or a sea lion? Wow, that's amazing. Wow, great white sharks can jump completely out of the water too. So, look at the facts. Who do you think has an advantage? Who would win? So given what you know so far about killer whales and great white sharks, we need to maybe start thinking about drawing some conclusions with the information that we have. Who do you think would win if they were going to get into a fight? Like other sea mammals, killer whales have a horizontal tail. Like a cross, guys, see? And I love this illustration, how it shows you. Okay. Did you know killer whales can swim with just their side fins? But their huge tail is used for speed and turning. A horizontal tail is a better design for diving and surfacing fast. Like other sharks, a great white shark has a vertical tail. See the tail, loves? And they're showing that the tail goes when it says vertical. They're showing you the motion that it goes. Great white sharks and other fish use their tails for speed and steering. And when we say steering, think about like when somebody's driving a car. When you move the wheel to the right, then your whole car moves to the right. Well, when the great white shark moves its tail to the right, then it moves its body to the right. It's kind of like the shark's steering wheel. Sonar. Killer whales have no ears. They bounce sounds off of approaching fish. They use sonar to navigate, to locate other creatures in the ocean, and to find each other. They recognize echoes and other vibrations in the water. This is called echolocation. Bonus fact, sonar is an acronym. Sound, navigation, and ranging. So guys, an acronym is when you take maybe like when you take a word and each letter from the word that you have actually means another word. It's the first letter of a completely different word. For sonar, sound, navigation, N, A, and R, ranging. Did you know submarines also use sonar, but nature had it first? Bats use sonar too. Smell. Did you know sharks can smell blood from 3 miles away? Underwater, the great white shark senses your electricity. Great white sharks have a keen sense of smell. They can also detect the electricity in fish and other animals. They can tell if you are nervous. They're so smart, aren't they? Wow. Killer whales are family-oriented. They live in groups called pods. Killer whale moms, dads, aunts, uncles, cousins, and kids each swim and play together. They look out for each other. Aww. Look at, guys, you can see how that pod is all together. Great white sharks are loners. All by myself. Great white sharks are loners. 2 and 3 have been seen hunting as a team, but mostly they travel, hunt, and eat alone. That's a huge difference between these two when you're comparing and contrasting, that the killer whales travel in pods together and these great white sharks are loners. They don't like to have that company. Killer whales can stop swimming and tread water in one place. They can swim up to 30 miles per hour. In the ocean, that is fast. So guys, 30 miles an hour would be the same speed like if you are driving to school in the morning. If your parents were driving you to school and you were not on a really busy street, they're going about 25, 30 miles an hour. So for us, it doesn't feel so fast, but they're saying in the ocean, that's pretty quick for this killer whale to be swimming. Did you know killer whales have smooth skin? Great white sharks never stop swimming. Oh my gosh, never. Seawater must flow through their gills so they can get oxygen. They cruise along at about 2 miles per hour, but speed up in bursts to 20 miles per hour. So if the killer whale's fastest speed is 30 miles an hour, and the fastest for the great white shark is 20 miles an hour, who swims faster? Yeah, the killer whales swim faster by about 10 miles an hour, right? Bonus fact, great white sharks have rough skin. It is like sandpaper. Most fish have scales. Sharks have denticles. Denticles are like little tiny teeth on their skin. This is a close-up of the denticles on a great white shark's skin. Right there. Yeah, so these two animals they have so many differences. Smooth skin for the killer whale, rough skin for the great white shark. This one can likes to travel with its family in pods. This one likes to be alone. So many differences. And think about that, because if you are part of our Google Classroom, you're going to have to fill in a Venn diagram to compare and contrast these two amazing animals. Killer whale brain. A killer whale's brain looks similar to a human brain, but is 3 times larger. Killer whales are extremely intelligent. So here's our human brain, and that would be a killer whale's brain. Great white shark brain. A great white shark does not have a round brain. It has different sections connected together. It is shaped like a letter Y. Do you see why they say that, guys? Like a Y? Scientists think every section is connected to a different sense. Yeah, the killer whale's brain looks very similar to our human brain, just 3 times as large. A killer whale can be captured, live in captivity, and trained to perform tricks. Killer whales are stars at aquariums and amusement parks. So you see the killer whale, and boom, there's the woman. Great white sharks have never been able to survive in captivity. So when we say captivity, boys and girls, we mean that they're taken out of their natural ocean environment and used either for entertainment or scientific study purposes. And they're saying that the great white sharks are not able to survive long when they do that, but the killer whales can. Hollywood loves to make movies about them, about the sharks. Great white sharks are movie stars. Fun fact. Jaws is one of the most popular movies of all times. For years, moviegoers were afraid to swim at the beach. Everyone knows the music. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. Yeah, so there is a fictional movie about a super shark called Jaws that way back in the day was made, and it frightened some people from swimming. But we've got to remember, when we go into the ocean and when we go into the water, that's not our home, right? We're trying to enjoy ourselves and cool off and swim, but that isn't our home. We have our homes. That's really home to these sharks. So we have to make sure we're respecting them. And there's safety precautions you can take before you go to the beach to see if the water is a safe area for swimming too. So, what would happen if a killer whale and a great white shark met in the ocean? What if they were the same size? What if they were both hungry? What if they had a fight? Uh-oh! They are in the same place at the same time. They sense each other. There is intense competition in nature. They are planning their attacks. Great white sharks like to attack from below. Killer whales like to attack from any side. They are getting closer. Then the fight happens. Uh-oh, who do you think will win? The killer whale or the great white shark? Crunch! The great white shark makes the first move. It tries to attack with its sharp teeth. The killer whale outsmarts the shark and bites it. 1, 2, 3 seconds. The fight is over. It is no contest. The ferocious great white shark doesn't know what hit it. The killer whale won today. What do you think will happen the next time a killer whale meets a great white shark? Who would win? Do you think the shark can't overcome a killer whale's superior intelligence? So, if you thought that the killer whale would win, then you were right. But I challenge you to think, why do you think it is that the killer whale won? I know when we were reading through the facts, and I've read this several times, I really enjoy this, but one of the things I was thinking of is, back in the text, using a text reference, I'm going back to the text to show you my thinking and to prove my point, is that it said killer whales have bones, right? And bones are really hard. Like if you feel your elbow or your bones maybe on your spine or your neck, bones are very hard, right? Your skull. But the great white sharks don't have bones. They have cartilage, like we talked about with our ears. So when we got to this page, I was thinking, wow, if they were going to get into a fight, it would be much easier for the killer whale to bite and rip through the skin of a shark. That was just one of the things that I was thinking of. So you have some slides that you can look back to refer in the Google Classroom if you want to go back and reread part of this. Again, there's a whole series of these books, guys, the Who Would Win series, and it's by Jerry Pallota, and this illustrator is Rob Bolster. So I hope you enjoy them. If you would like to have me read another Who Would Win book within the next few weeks, then drop it in the comments below. All right, guys, I love you, and I will read to you soon. Bye.